Hi, Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 16th to the 30th, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into the safe and loving space. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Leo, November 16th to 30th, 2021, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Goodness, okay. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the devil coming through, which is Capricorn energy. If we have Capricorn within our natal chart, or we have somebody in our life who is a Capricorn, they're going to be affecting us at our root, but also a lot of things that we feel shackled to in this life. And then we have the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So again, if we have Taurus within our natal chart, we're going to have that coming through very strongly at our root, but also Taurians are going to have a very big effect on our root if we have these people within our lives. But there's also a sense of, for some, feeling shackled to an institution, or it can be, kind of finding our own path and making our own road. It depends on where we are in our journey. We have the Queen of Pentacles, this nurturing of the seeds that we have planted. Again, earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, again coming through very strongly here at our root, the earth sign energy of Capricorn and Taurus. We have the Three of Pentacles, gifts falling over our shoulders. We're not really looking at them. So this is going to be something that we need to become aware of for ourselves. We have our emotional self. We have the Seven of Wands. Emotionally, we're going to be so quick to fight. We're going to think, okay, I have to defend, I have to fight. And what Spirit is saying here is if we're fighting all the time, then fighting doesn't mean anything. So that's not saying that if we're in the midst of a battle, right? If we're in the midst of something that's really quite intense. Well, no, it does. Okay, so Spirit is correcting me. So with the Seven of Wands, we're going to have something that makes us feel like we have to fight. Either we're just so used to fighting, it's been years and years of fighting, that we're going to feel scrappy, we're going to feel like I have to fight, I have to, be in the midst of everything. But what Spirit is saying here is that we need to step back, and we need to realize that not everybody who we think is attacking us, right? And we need to step back and say, what do I need? What do I want? How am I moving forward? And what is important to me? because this could be at work, this could be at home, this could even be like as we're trying to achieve something that is so important to us emotionally that we just like, oh, I have to keep on fighting, I have to keep on fighting. And Spirit's like, no, but you have to step into yourself, because our mind can almost be a prison for us. We're overthinking, we're overanalyzing, we're keeping ourselves locked away in cobwebs and in chains of the past, or in chains of, what the future might be. And we're not letting ourselves move forward. Mrs. Hamiston, I always say this wrong, from Great Expectations, the one who wore the wedding dress. And I always see her so clearly and forget her name whenever it comes time to a reading. So here, it's just being very, very mindful of this. Very, very mindful of this. And then it moves us to our public arena self. The moon, which is Pisces energy. And it's also having us look at and see our fears. And the Six of Wands, so that we can be able to move to success. There's almost a sense of, I'm calling me forward to what I need to nurture in order for me to be successful, in order for me to live the bountiful life. And emotionally, I need to free myself from either old expectations that were somebody else's, that were enforced upon me, that aren't mine anymore. And I need to start to see the sun, to see the moon. But it's like the quiet of the moon starts leading us towards inspiration. It can be the quiet at night that brings us to this inspiration, but also this sense of self, the sense of, what am I afraid of? What do I need? What's guiding me to my place that I need to stand? It moves us to our chakra energy, not our chakra energy, our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Goodness. Ooh, this one. Okay, and that's the King of Cups. Water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is emotional manipulation. This is somebody whose bite and bark are quite intense. This is going to be a sense of emotions taking over. Right now, we need to not let our emotions take over. We need to step back and say, what is right for me? And where is it that I need to be? So this is a personal warning where there is this sense of just to fight, But there is also going to need this to be this realization that emotional trickery is going to come into play, and we have to be aware of it. So when Spirit is saying here, emotionally, we're going to think just to fight. It's kind of like something triggers us. We're back in the past. We're not seeing the gifts of the present, the gifts within us, and that's going to be something that we need to understand, because it's almost like what we're shackled to. It is. It's this sense of this is the fear I have to face, and this is going to be the time that we face it, because there's a real sense of victory that comes forward in the public arena. A real sense of freedom. Let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is universal light. This is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above our crown. There's a sense of brilliance to us. There's a sense of inspiration to us. There's a sense of light following us forward and bringing us forward into the dawn of who we are. All right, so let's talk about this time period from the 16th to the 30th astrologically. On the 16th of November, we have the sun sextile Pluto. Now remember, we're ruled by the sun. So whenever the sun comes up, we're impacted by it quite intensely. So with the sun sextile Pluto, this hits us more intensely than it will others. This brings a magnetic, I always say this word wrong, magnetic attraction to whatever we need, whatever we're going after. And this can make us astoundingly charming. I mean, Leo, we're already charming, so this adds to it. And the fact that the sun is here, sextile Pluto, this has us just shining in a whole new light, in a whole new way, in this beautiful energy. We are driven, we are determined, and we can feel almost unstoppable. So it's going to be a good day. This is a day, like, if we have something to do, if we want to be putting our best foot forward, the 16th of November is definitely the time to do it. The 17th of November is Mars opposite Uranus, which brings exciting and unexpected energy that helps us to take those risks, to go after what we need. This is a time, though, I would have to say, to be mindful of risk taking, because here with Mars opposite Uranus, we're going to be inclined to take risks. We're going to be, needing to take these risks almost, but we're also going to be very rebellious. It's almost going to be like, well, yeah, I'll show you. So we have to be very mindful of this, because we can actually put ourselves in a precarious situation, because already the cards are inclined to tell us that we're going to have that attitude anyway. Like, oh yeah, I'll show you. I'll do this. And especially it comes if we just think emotionally. If we balance this with logic, if we balance this with saying, okay, where are these feelings coming from and why, and identification and standing and holding space for ourselves instead of holding space for everybody else, we're standing in ourselves and saying, I see you, I connect with you, I understand you, and I'm letting myself fall in love with me. And I know that sounds so silly. And it's like, oh, okay, Dane, fall in love with yourself, whatever, hold space, fine, whatever. These don't mean anything. But to hold space for somebody is to acknowledge their existence, is to say, I see you. And to hold space for ourselves is to say, if I can see everybody else, then I sure as heck can see me. I embrace my heart, I embrace my soul, I embrace who I am, and I embrace who I need to be, where I need to go, and how I need to get there. On the 18th of November, Mercury is going to be trine Neptune, which brings this alluring, beautiful energy to us. It makes us astoundingly attractive. So I don't know what date the the 18th of November is, but if we're going out on a date, this would be a very good day for that. So we just shine a little bit more. Our imagination is on point. So not only are we attractive, but we're highly creative. We're thinking outside of the box. This can be a very exciting time. This is also going to be a time for us where we start to see things falling into place, where we start to see our imagination and our dreams really coming forward and really coinciding. On the 19th of November, Venus is trine Uranus, which brings an energy of wanting to feel free, unique, and social. We really want to just be in the midst of everything. On the 19th of November, we also have the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, and there will be a separate video done on that. On the 20th of November, Mercury is going to be squared Jupiter, which brings with it a clear and open mind, and it's kind of like, I can do anything. I can see things. I can connect things. I'm powerful. I'm intuitive. I'm, breaking down boundaries. But it also brings with it a lack of discipline. And emotionally, again, if we let ourselves just fall into it, I don't know if this is like, we can be a little bit inclined to a depression or a bit of sadness, just like a bit of the blues. It can be winter, it's coming for those of us in the northern hemisphere, and it's getting cold. It's getting intense, especially if you live in a cooler climate like I do. Excuse me. And we can find that it just becomes a little bit challenging. This could be something that we're actually dealing with during this time. So do be mindful of that. But with this clear insight and this clear idea, we can lack the discipline to make it happen. We can lack the discipline to really go after things. And so this is a day where we have to kind of be on top of ourselves. You know how you would remind a kid to do your homework, and did you get everything done? Like how our parents used to remind us and how we might remind our children. But what we're going to see here is that we need to be that reminder, that gentle, loving reminder to stay on course and to make sure everything is done and to not procrastinate. On the 21st of November, Mercury is going to be sextile Pluto, which is a very serious time for all of us. We are discovering a lot of what is slowing us down, what is keeping us held back, and we're following our intuition. On the 27th of November, we have the third quarter moon in Virgo, and Virgo is going to be this energy of telling us that we matter, telling us to show up for ourselves, telling us that we are enough. Now, the 28th of November, the sun is going to be conjunct Mercury. Now, remember, again, we are ruled by the sun, so the sun conjunct Mercury is quite powerful for us. This is the best time for communication, and important ideas start to come to the surface. We start to see things in a different way. It's kind of like when a pot of soup starts to bubble and then you start to see like all the veggies coming up. That's going to be with us. That's going to be a sense of what's really nourishing, what's really good for us starts to come to the surface. We can have so much to think about and so much on our plate that we're looking at that we are terrible communicators on this day, even though the fact that communication, this is going to be a great time for communication, we're almost going to be like, I can't be bothered with it. And that's how everybody feels on this day. Everybody's so into their own heads and into their own selves that we just have to, and their own, kind of big ideas, we just have to be mindful of this. On the 29th of November, Mars is trine Jupiter, which makes us suave, sexy, and creative. I mean, it's really quite fun. We're also going to be passionate, and we're going to be passionately fighting for what we believe in. We are going to really be motivating other people as well as ourselves with this kind of spiritual courage. And everybody has this bit of spiritual courage to them. So we're kind of seeing this inspiration that guides us, that moves us, and that, we're seeing in other people, but we're also seeing it within ourselves. On the 30th of November, Mercury is going to be sextile Saturn. Now, on the 30th of November, we have a lot happening. So be aware. We have Mercury sextile Saturn, which brings focus and the ability to see the bigger picture. We are single-minded in reaching our goals and a bit obsessed, so be aware of that. On the 30th of November, we also have Venus sextile Neptune, which makes us passionate, romantic, and sensual. Our relationships become very important to us, and we need to be around like-minded people. We're also going to be highly creative. On the 30th of November, once again, we have the Sun sextile Saturn. Remember, again, we're ruled by the Sun, so this is important for us. It brings a sense of identity through leadership and finding and embracing our voice. Now, the thing is, with the Sun sextile Saturn, as we're embracing our leadership, as we're finding our voice, we're going to be picking one camp to really embrace or the other. The Mercury sextile Saturn, if we're more work inclined on this day, or Venus sextile Neptune, if we're more romantically inclined on this day. Can we be with somebody? Can we have a relationship and that person be more focused on, the relationship side of things than the work side of things? Yes. And that actually can cause a bit of discord for us because we're going to be in this place of leadership. We're going to be really embracing our voice and thinking, okay, people should listen to what I'm saying. And this could be a time where we find ourselves getting into arguments with people who aren't seeing things eye to eye with us. So just be aware of it. Just be aware that we can be work inclined or we can be relationship inclined on this day. And we're going to be in the role of leadership within that, meaning that we're really going to be embracing our voice, embracing our determination, embracing what we're seeing, embracing our way forward. And it can kind of cause a little bit of conflict if we don't have an open mind. We need to keep an open mind on the 30th of November to know that other people might be inspired in different ways. So here we're facing the devil at our root, and that's rather quite intense. Now, the devil isn't necessarily a bad card, but what it's telling us is, what are you chained to? What is it that is shackling you down? What is it that is holding you back? What is it that is keeping you from progressing the way that you want to progress and being the person that you want to be? Are these societal expectations that we think, oh, but I'm supposed to be like this? Like I'm supposed to be a lawyer or a doctor, and if I'm not that, then my life doesn't have any meaning. I'm not successful, or, a programmer or a CEO. And if I'm not this, if I'm not conforming in this way, I'm not worthy of success, or I don't get to celebrate my success as other people do. Are we needing to break out of that loop? Are we needing to look at old hurts and pains that were said to us when we were small? Things where people said, oh, you have to be like this. Our parents, our guardians, people who loved us, might have been trying to make our life easier, but in doing so, they didn't see us completely and fully. And so this could also be something that we're fighting against. It can also be the fact that we're just starting to understand ourselves, understand the amount of some self-loathing that we were put under. I watched the new Marvel movie, and I usually never like movies. I never go to the movies, but one of my brothers was so excited about it, and he's like, oh, come with me. And so I went, and there was a deaf leading person. And I never realized up until this moment that being hearing impaired, losing so much of my hearing when I was little, really impacted me and was something, again, I was supposed to be ashamed of. That's why I bring it up, because I make myself face it. I make myself see it. I make myself acknowledge who I was, because it's led me to who I am. And I was like, oh my gosh, we weren't the same skin color. We weren't the same anything, but her being hearing impaired meant everything to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I see so much that needed to be addressed. And it could be something like that. It's like, I didn't know I was ashamed of it until that moment. I didn't know that I saw it as something to hide from, to hide away, or to admit in trying to make myself accept me instead of just accepting me and walking forward. And so those could be the things, like with the devil, that's coming forward. And it's like, oh, okay. I identify with this more than I ever realized. I identify with this more than I ever knew. And these things could be coming up for us. That's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize. I didn't realize this is what held me back. I didn't realize that this is what defined me. I didn't realize that this is what I needed to see and say. So something here is going to be coming up. And it's like, that's why our hearts have been fighting so hard. It's like, oh my gosh, because I was going to beat you to the punch before you got me. I was going to have to stand strong because I had to stand strong for so long. And that's where we start to fall into the connection with our traditions, the connection with who we are, with what's important to us. And that door starts to open. We start to see ourselves again. The Hierophant is tradition. The Hierophant is what forms us and shapes us. This is the Minor Arcana marriage card. We can also start to open the door and say, I'm not living by the chains of another person. I'm embracing what I am committed to in this life. It's not who I am committed to. And Spirit always wants to make that very defined. It can be that we find that what I am committed to at this time is my marriage or my relationship or my partner. But what I can also be committed to at this time is my relationship with myself, my partnership with myself, my sense of this is why I'm here and this is what I need to embrace and see within me. And the Hierophant just starts to change that. The Hierophant starts to say, this isn't about, cultural traditions. This isn't about religious traditions. These are about the things, the quirky things that we do as individuals that make us, Leo, that have us stand out from the rest of the crowd, that have us, have that unique fingerprint, the unique way our veins run through our bodies like oceans and rivers. I mean, nobody is the same vein-wise. Nobody is the same fingerprint-wise. Actually, identical twins can have a chance of being the same. But the river that runs through our bodies, the way that, we are powered and the way that we live, nobody has the same vein lineup as we do. And so here we're embracing our uniqueness. We're embracing our power. We're embracing our understanding, and we're nurturing. We're nurturing that which is sacred to us. We're nurturing that which we need to nurture. That which is important. And it could be a child, it could be our career, it could be our creative ability, it could be a myriad of things. But what we're seeing here is that we're starting to see ourselves as successful, prosperous people. We're starting to call forward that success and that prosperity. And it brings us to bounty falling on our shoulders. It brings us to the sense of like, hey, look at this, look at what's coming. But we also have to honor the stages of our existence, the childhood, the adulthood, the wisdom that comes with age, that comes with the gray hair and the wrinkled skin, that our world tells us, oh my gosh, that's terrible. But that is a sign of having gotten to live. It is an honor to grow old. It is. And it is a heartbreak to grow old. It is. But we forget that. We think of, I will not be young and beautiful anymore. We think of, oh my gosh, I've lost that chance to have those, carefree, chaotic 20s. If we never had them, if we were always more responsible, or, just the world never gave us that opportunity. And here it's an honor to ourselves, to honor ourselves and the different stages of our lives. That's why we have 3 coins falling. It's to also know that we're not in this alone. We're connected with our angels. We're connected with our spirit guides. And if we look at the prosperity that is around us and a part of us, we don't always need to be fighting. We can be connecting. It's going to be important to say, listen, the world is going to come at me. People aren't going to like me. Some people instantaneously, they see your face and they're like, I don't like you. it's for no reason, or they hear your voice or whatever. And they're like, no, not my cup of tea. And that's fine. We don't have to be liked by everybody. We don't have to be understood by everybody. But we have to be as liked and understood by us. And if we're always on the defensive, if we're always waiting for that next shoe to drop, we're not giving ourselves the energy to connect with ourselves. We're constantly draining the battery before it even gets a chance to charge. It leads us to the 8 of Swords. We need to get out of our own heads. We are in our own heads too much. We believe the doubts and the fears. We believe the chaos. We believe what others say instead of what we need to say for us. We need to connect. We need to see. The 8 of Swords is being told you're in a box. And because your arms are bound and your eyes are covered, you believe that you are in a box. You believe that you are in a cage. You believe that if you step off, oh my gosh, you're in the middle of the ocean, you're going to drown. And there's no way out. And yet you can walk to land. Because it's a lie. And this is believing the lies. The 8 of Swords is believing the fear. And the 8 of Swords is where people live their whole entire lives. We all know people who have lived in the 8 of Swords, who have played it so safe that, they never took any risk for themselves, who are riddled with these regrets and look back and with the shouldas, the couldas, and the wouldas. What if we take off the blindfold? What if we break through the seaweed that binds us and start to claim who we are? And start to embrace what we love instead of feeling trapped by it. And saying, this is me. I honor me. I hold space for me. And in the public arena, we face our fears. We face the illusions and delusions and the things that will never be and the things that will be. Because we are embracing the quiet. We're embracing the connection. We're embracing the unity with our heart and our soul and ourselves. We're embracing the subconscious and the conscious, and we're seeing ourselves move in a direction of understanding and truth. We look at the fear and we look at the monsters and we say, you don't get to rule my life. It's not the fear of that gets to define me. It's the brilliance of that gets to propel me. And it moves us to the Six of Wands. It's like, I'm done with fear. And now I get to celebrate me. I get to honor me. I get to rejoice in me. And I get to embrace who I am, which might not be what everybody else wants me to be, but is who I need to be. The Six of Wands says celebrate. The Six of Wands says connect. And that's what we're doing. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Prince of Swords. It's charging into things. It's, again, being ready for battle. It's that charging into things without thinking it through. We have people around us who just charge forward and we're going to think, yeah, a battle to fight. Like, I'm all in for it. And Spirit's saying here, stop, think it through, and then be the white knight that shines and charges in, that connects and goes after. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is my favorite card in the whole entire chakra cards. It's the crown chakra, and it's the I am presence. It's I am. I am successful, I am powerful, I am prosperous, I am bountiful, I am loved, I am connecting. Or it's I'm overwhelmed, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I'm a joke. And why I say the negative as well as the positive, even though people look at me and say, Dane, no, only say the positive, is because when I hear the positive, I think, yes, that's me. I'm so on the right track. I love being on the right track. And then I hear the negative, and I think, darn, I'm not. I get down on myself. Things aren't working out the way that I thought they would. Things get hard. And then all of a sudden, my I am presence, the inner voice within me, is beating me up instead of blessing me. And we all do it. We all do it. And so here, when we're embracing our crown, what are we crowning ourselves with? Do we get to wear a crown that is beautiful, that is peaceful, that is, powerful for us? Or do we get to wear a crown that beats us down and takes away our blessings? Our subconscious energy to be mindful of, not energy to be mindful of, rooted energy is the magician. As above, so below. As we believe it, so it becomes. And that can be something that we need to be mindful of. That is going to be a great power for the way that we're thinking, the way that we're connecting, the way that we're claiming our blessings. What are we seeing ourselves being able to embrace? And how? It moves us to our subconscious goodness gracious. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And it's the Five of Pentacles. This is the poverty mentality. This is a sense of, I'm not rich. I don't have money falling on my shoulders. This is poverty. This is turning our back on our blessings because we don't think we're worthy of them, because we don't see them, because we've been told for so long that we will never be able to move forward. And this is saying enough is enough. Now is its time to embrace prosperity, to call forward wealth, to say, you know what? Negativity can be spoken over me. I can be hurting. I can be overwhelmed. But I get to be successful. And I get to embrace my success and honor and understand the road that I've had to walk to get here. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, which is the Five of Wands. Emotionally, there's a lot going on here emotionally. The Five of Wands is battle. The Five of Wands is an internal battle. It could be a battle with other people that just hits us at our heart. It's a sense of chaos for the sake of chaos. We're so used to these battles that it just feels like this is where I need to be. And what Spirit is really telling us here is stop fighting. Stop fighting. I don't know what we're fighting against emotionally, but it's trapping us. It's keeping us. It's keeping us stunted. And it moves us to our subconscious public arena self, and it's the Ace of Swords. It's God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us this gift of insight, of power, of cutting through the nonsense and saying, this is the power of my voice, this is the power of my reason, this is the power of where I need to be for myself. And we feel stronger, we feel wiser because of it. All right, Leo, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the freeing of our hearts. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo.